everybody, and welcome to another edition of I Didn't Know That, a Facebook Live event presented by Stoffer Mortgage. I am Karaoke Bob, your host, along with our co-host and other host, Mike Stoffer, and another cavalcade of stars. Mr. Stoffer, are you ready with the pictures?
I am ready. I'm trying to figure out, what is that word you use, cavalcade?
Yeah, I use the word cavalcade.
What's that? Is that a word? Or did you just make that up?
Yeah, no, it is a word. It's a menagerie. It's
Spell that. Spell cavalcade.
Cavalcade. I think it's cavalcade.
Cavalcade. Okay, I'll
cavalcade.
look that up. Continue on.
First up, from Too Late for Autographs, Michael Bonnano is with us again, and we'll be going over the women of Ohio to celebrate National Women's Month.
There is Michael.
There is
because
right
I can't find his picture. Hi, Mike. How are you?
That's
Hi,
all right.
guys. How you doing?
Doing good.
All right. Next, Bob, we have who?
And then we'll have the wine professor, Jared Gray, will be on, and we got a virtual wine tasting tonight. So very excited for that.
Here's my favorite Jared Gray picture.
That's right.
There.
That angelic. But yeah, we'll be doing a virtual wine tasting tonight. Of course, as Jared had predicted, I was unable to find that brand, but I did find a brand that coincidentally has a white label and has some black on it as well, just like that one. And so we'll drink that tonight. I also have some new wine tools, and I can't wait to show them off and see if I've done well in my wine shopping to prepare for tonight. So that's all I have.
And Bob, National Puppy Day is coming up next week. We want you to send in pictures of your puppies and dogs.
Okay.
We're going to do a puppy parade next week. We already have a number of pictures in already, so
that's great.
Mark will be very busy putting these pictures together, and Mark Seibert does a great job putting pictures together. Mark, we appreciate everything you did. There he goes, Mark, right there.
Well, and I already submitted with my puppy. So
we got him back. He didn't even know he was.
He didn't even know he was
got
gone.
taken off.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I just expect we have him for laughs anymore, and if he's talking, it's not authorized.
It's pretty much my whole life.
That's exactly right. In the
welcome
gallery,
back to the show, Mark. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mark's about time. I buy you equipment, and he takes 3 weeks off. It's great.
It's guilt and shame brought me back. So.
Jared Gray said that we should give his equipment to Jared Tudor, who's a lot more.
Yeah, who he's not even scheduled to be on tonight, but there he is with us drinking coffee.
There
doing
he is.
Push-ups. He was doing
That's right.
Look at that, push-ups. He's wearing an extra small T-shirt because he just got done working out.
Right.
Did you just do a pec flex there?
He did. Look at him.
I think
it's your good body.
I think it's just the wrinkles here.
Can you do one at a time? I used to be able to do that trick. I knew some strippers that could do that trick.
I don't think I can do it anymore.
There we go.
No, that's there.
There it is.
There it is.
Back in the day,
we should give him the solo layout for that. Go ahead, let's try that again.
Roll.
All right, in the gallery we have, much to everybody's surprise, Yelena. It's always so good to see her on here. I just love it every time Mike is. I think I enjoy her just as much as Mike. You know, maybe we should flip the roles sometime. We should have Yelena come on sometime and have Mike in the gallery and see if Mike actually is as supportive of her as she is of him. So, how about that, Bob? Nothing to say about that. Okay, good. Okay.
No,
leave me hanging out there. Deirdre is in the house. She says hello.
You're going through the cavalcade of
cavalcade again.
Hola.
Cavalcade.
Evans.
Cavalcade.
Kim says, hey, everyone. Good evening. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Big Dave.
Big Dave in the house.
Big Dave, we need to know whether cavalcade is a real word or not.
Cavalcade. Cavalcade.
Or whatever variation Bob is using. Find out if that is a real word, Dave. Can you find out for us? Thank you. Put Big Dave on anything. So anyways, we're going to have a fun show this evening, Bob. As you know, we're going to have Mike is going to talk about for National Women's Month. Mike is going to talk about some Ohioans. We're going to do our online wine tasting.
Cavalcade.
Cavalcade.
There you go.
There it is.
Bob, congratulations. You
Cavalcade.
finally got one word right. We are still looking up, what's the word that,
oh, God.
I'm still trying to find that other word.
I can't remember, but that word was the best.
That was
And
really
I don't know. And then, of course, after you called me out, I'm like, yeah, man, that was dumb. This is a dumb word that I came up with.
I happen to really
it
like
had
that
its
word.
it had its basis in things that actually existed.
That's right. And many things that actually existed in your mind. So that's good. So why don't we bring on Mr. Mike Bonanno, and we're going to have him talk about
Titty nope. Yeah.
some Ohioans that have passed on, that have done some fantastic things. Mark goodbye. And Mark goodbye. I tried to get him out of here. You brought him back on.
Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I messed up.
All right. So we're going to bring on Mike. Mike, how are you, sir?
Hey guys, how you doing? Doing
Great.
good.
Really good, Mike. Good to have you back again during National Women's Month. So
Great to be back.
And that's what we're going to take a look at tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike
Great.
always has great stories. I mean, and I get a lot of great feedback on you, Mike. So no pressure tonight. None at all.
No pressure. Let's do it. No
Okay.
pressure.
Are you ready for number one?
Yeah. What are you going to do first? What do you want to do first?
We're going to send you the very first one you sent me, which is Jerry Mock.
Jerry Mock, first woman to fly solo around the world. 1964, she did that. I think she was born in Newark, Ohio. She passed away in Florida. She was cremated, so she has no gravesite. But she was very, you know what? I have some notes here, and I wrote them down, and I want to get it right for you. She was 1964. She did this between March 19th and April 17th. She took 29 days to travel around the world in the plane. First single-engine plane, too. First woman to do it. She set a lot of other records, too. She was the first woman to fly from U.S. to Africa, first woman to fly the Pacific in a single-engine plane, the first woman to fly the Pacific west to east, first woman to fly both the Atlantic and the Pacific, first woman to fly the Pacific both directions. So she was just all over the place with this plane. So she did a lot for flight and for women in flight.
Wow, that's incredible.
That really is. That's sensational.
Yeah,
and she did it. She did it when it like a 4-seat Cessna. Is that what that's?
I believe that's what that is. Yeah, she did it all alone too. So it's fantastic on her part. You know, Amelia Earhart tried it. Obviously, she didn't make it.
Mm-hmm.
So Jerry was able to do it.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So when did Amelia try it? She tried it shortly after World War II, right?
I think it was right before 39, maybe, I believe.
Yeah. Okay. And then no other woman tried it until Jerry did.
Actually, Jerry was in competition at the same exact time with another woman, and Jerry beat her out by just a little while, just like a few days or something.
Wow.
The flight started in Columbus, Ohio, and ended in Columbus, Ohio. And she just beat out this. I don't remember the other woman's name, but she had just beat her out.
I'm astonished that Amelia gets, all the recognition, but she didn't make it.
Right, exactly.
And she gets, that we hear more about Amelia than we hear about Jerry, which is pretty fascinating. That
it's a lot of people don't know about her. That she was from Ohio and she did it in '64, and like I just said, not many people know about her.
Well, it's like ESPN. It's that East Coast. It's that East Coast. They call it the East Coast prejudice or the East Coast slant. It's because it's the middle of the country. The big media markets didn't care.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
That's right. I'm just.
I wouldn't say some people didn't know about her. I would say, does anybody know? I've never even heard of her.
Right. That was what I thought was kind of fascinating. Is that is an amazing accomplishment. It's for women and just for aviation to fly solo around the world is not an easy thing to do. Probably harrowing. It's nerve-wracking, especially in a plane that small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And although the one thing I've heard about the Cessnas is that particular plane is, I know that they use it looks to me anyway from that picture. Not that I'm any aviation expert, but I know that they use that as a trainer still today, and it's what
really?
they try and put it into. It's hard to get it do any kind of out of control spin because it is a very stable aircraft. But that's part of passing, I guess, is you have to get it into an uncontrolled dive and get it out.
Oh.
So
And I was doing a couple things. Did we mention the name of the plane that went around the world?
Spirit of Columbia.
Okay.
And it was nicknamed Charlie. They nicknamed it Charlie. But yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I have, of course, Judy Resnick. Yep.
Yeah, she was such a smart woman. When she took her SATs coming out of high school, she was the only female that year to score a perfect score. That year, coming out of high school, just a shame. She was so smart, but you could see some of the stuff right there. That the second woman in space, fourth woman, worldwide, and all that right down there.
And she was from Akron, right?
Pardon me?
She was from Akron, correct?
Yes, she was from Akron.
And her influence was part of the Akron Arrows when they moved they were the AA Canton Akron Indians. And one of the first names that they were going to call them was the Akron Blast. And they actually didn't do that out of respect for Judy. And then they made it more of the aerospace theme, and then of course you got the arrows, and Orbit was the mascot. But the memory of Judy Resnick had a very, very profound influence on what that team was eventually named, and the decision to not name it Blast because they felt they kind of took a second thought, like that's pretty insensitive.
Yeah, when you get into the details of the explosion, and I don't know how far you want to get into that, but there's speculation that she was actually alive after the blast, and he actually
it was
turned on somebody else's life support system.
Yeah,
one of the other astronauts.
And there is apparently recordings. There is recordings of conversation in the cockpit until it hit the water.
Right.
And that was it, because it was you call it an explosion because that's what it looked like, but that's not what it was. It was more of what they'd call a conflagration or whatever. It's where it just basically everything turned into steam when you had all this hydrogen and oxygen, as depressurized. What tore the orbit apart wasn't necessarily the actual explosive force of the tank rupturing, but more of the aerodynamic effects on the orbiter after it was out of shape, and it was the speed that tore it apart, and the cabin was intact all the way down.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
And does anybody know what high school she went to?
Firestone.
Firestone. I was about there. I knew that.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, I just Jared Tudor had made a comment that she went to Firestone. So
yeah, Firestone. Firestone in Akron.
Just adding to that. So
yeah, I'm a big space nut, and as you've seen, I've worn NASA shirts before on here, but yeah, if you go to Kennedy, it's pretty powerful. They have some of the pieces of the shuttle on display in the
yeah. And what was left of her and the other astronauts were put in a memorial at Arlington, so that's where she's at.
Yeah. So pretty crazy, but the what?
Nope. Go ahead, continue.
Oh, okay.
I see you wiped out one of my banners that I had made, Bob, for this evening.
No, I did not wipe out a banner.
You did. You wiped out a banner. I'm sitting here looking for a banner, and it's gone. I
wonder if I added a new one for Cavalcade, and I'll get rid of it now. So
no.
There's home buys.
No.
There's Jared's.
That's all right.
This is to get on the Facebook page.
That is okay.
This is for rigmarole. I'm not sure.
Going to the next.
Thank you.
That we
Get me off that.
Mary Campbell.
Mary Campbell, the only woman to be Miss America twice.
Wow.
She was also, yeah. It's an interesting story because she was actually the second Miss America. Then she became the third Miss America, and then she was the runner-up in 1924, and that's when they changed the rule to make it only that the contestant can win it only one time. So she's the reason why they changed the rule, because she almost won it 3 times in a row.
So she's the reason for basically the Miss America FDR rule, where
The FDR. Well, I'm not.
well, I mean, well, no, it's just the term limitations after.
Oh, right. Okay.
FDR had 4 terms as president. Yeah, it was just
right. Exactly. Yeah. She's the reason, and she was only 16 when she won it.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. But she was the first high school graduate. She went on to college at OSU and was an art major, and she married a DuPont executive, and then she's buried with her husband there. You can see the picture there. Her last name was Conley, I believe, when she got married. But another smart girl, like Judith Resnick was. So, but yeah, twice in a row she set the record, and then they changed the rule.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had no idea that I didn't know that a Miss Ohio was the first Miss America. Did they have a Miss Ohio pageant at that point, or did it just, do you know what it was set up as?
She was a second Miss America. Yeah, they had a Miss Columbus. She won the Miss Columbus pageant, I think it was.
Okay.
I'm not so sure they had a Miss Ohio then, but there definitely was a Miss Columbus, and she won that, and that's what propelled her to this pageant, the Miss America pageant. At
That's
16.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. She's one of 6 Ohioans to win Miss America, by the way. Victoria Woodhull, this is another. She was the first woman to ever run for president of the United States.
Wow.
She did a lot of things too in her lifetime. She started a newspaper. She was a stockbroker. The interesting story about her was when she ran for president, she was actually in jail. They put her in jail because her newspaper, it had to do with her newspaper. It's a long, complicated story. Basically, she was way ahead of her time. She believed in, she was for women's suffrage and all that kind of things. But in her newspaper, she would talk about sex education, free love, short skirts, spiritualism, vegetarianism, licensed prostitution. She was really, really forward thinking. She was also, the things we know today about the 8-hour workday she was for, things like that. She was started her own stockbroking business in 1870, I believe it was.
Wow.
And then her newspapers, running for the presidency, they threw her in jail because I wrote it down here. They charged her with publishing an obscene newspaper. So they threw her in jail for that. And on the night of the election, that's where she was. She even got some votes, but there's no record of it. There's no actual vote existing that she got, that shows she got the votes. But the newspapers reported that she got the votes.
Do you have anything of what she did that was so obscene?
Well, I think just the things she wrote about, sex education and
so not socially acceptable of the time that they would just call it obscene,
right,
and dismiss her. And some of those things now are we now know is kind of beneficial to talk about.
Yeah.
And by the way, for those of you that are interested, Mike's site on his Facebook page is great. It's called Too Late for Autographs, Ohio, and I've got it scrolling at the bottom. I mean, you can just lose, a day reading all the rich content that Mike has on there. It's just really amazing. I mean, the work you put in is just incredible on this. And the people you find, I mean, you just never hear about it. I think that's the thing that's the most fun about it, is you just have no idea that these people even existed. And it's just limited to Ohio. It's just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's just Ohioans and people, like you just said, you didn't know about, but actually in their day were pretty famous.
Do you know if anybody in other states does this for their state?
That I know of. I have a friend that lives in Florida, and he was thinking about doing it for Florida. I don't know if he's going to ever do it.
You should probably.
I don't know of anybody else that's doing it.
You should franchise this. This is a great opportunity, Mike. I'm telling you, because there's every state, and you can almost, you can have a best of site that has, people that should be of more historical note nationally that kind of give people their due years and years later. But really, really cool. Who's next, Mike? Annie Oakley was from here.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
From Darke County, I believe it is. It's southwest near Indiana. She was from the middle of nowhere, really. But you can see right there. Her real name was Phoebe, and she was called Miss Little. I'm sure this is Little Miss Sure Shot. Sitting Bull named her that. She traveled a lot. She did a lot of shows, Western shows and circuses back in the day. She was really, really good with a gun, obviously. I wrote some stuff down here that let me read it off real quick. She could shoot off the end of a cigarette held in her husband's lips. He was part of the show. She could hit the thin edge of a playing card from 30 paces. She hit dimes tossed into the air. She could shoot distant targets while looking into a mirror. And she could also shoot holes through cards thrown into the air before they landed.
Wow.
She was real good with a gun. So, yeah.
I'm not sure I would. Go ahead, Mike.
I was just going to say that she thought that every woman should know how to handle guns as naturally as they know how to handle babies, was her line. She was 62 years old and still setting records for shooting. She was really good.
Yeah, amazing. I knew she was legendary. I don't know how I didn't know that she was from Ohio.
Yeah. She's buried near Greenwood, I think it's called, Greenwood, Ohio, with her husband, who was also a marksman shooter. But he died 16 days after she did. And they laid him to rest together on Thanksgiving Day in 1926. And some people say that Annie was actually cremated and put in one of her trophies and put in the same grave as her husband.
Oh, wow.
His name was, I think, Frank Butler. So they're not even sure she's really under her own headstone. They think that she was put in with her husband, which is right next to her.
That's pretty incredible. Do you know if? I guess if we don't know if she's there, we don't know if she asked for that or not.
Right. They may have done that. She may not even know that it even was done to her.
Mm-hmm. Dorothy Fulltime.
I love Dorothy Fulltime. She was just great.
Amazing. Yeah. She WEWS was really pioneering in television in Cleveland. And that's a lot of things people, the reason you have a Good Morning America is because Cleveland had the morning exchange. They pioneered women. She pioneered women on TV. WEWS is a very important TV station in the world. A lot of pioneering stuff down here. And she was right in the middle.
She was 54 years old when she started her broadcasting career at WEWS. 2 months after they went on the air, she started. She was the first woman to have. She did, again, talk about a lot of firsts. The first woman to anchor a TV news broadcast, host her own TV show, host a TV news analyst program. She was the first commentator on ABC Radio, on the ABC Radio network. Now, here's an interesting part. She interviewed so many famous people: the Duke of Windsor, Helen Keller, Barbara Walters, Martin Luther King, several presidents. The big things, though, she did was she landed interviews with Mussolini and Hitler prior to World War II, which was a pretty big accomplishment for back then.
Yeah. I remember she was still on the news when I was in school, and she was the editorial. And something you don't see in news anymore is when news broadcasts would go to an opinion piece or an editorial, that it was clearly marked that this is opinion, this is editorial, and now it's all so blended you can't tell the difference between, or it's more difficult to know when a news station is giving you reporting news or reporting opinion. And it was very clear back then. And she was the opinion piece every night, and it was awesome.
She did a great job, and she did it right up to about before she passed away. I mean, she interviewed Ronald Reagan, and then right after that, she had a stroke, and she never went back on the air again, and she died 5 years later.
Yeah, I remember that.
Amazing woman.
Amazing woman.
Yeah.
Yep, very good. Well, Michael, thank you very much. Excellent, as always, to celebrate National Women's Month with some really great ladies from Ohio. So,
appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. Come back anytime. We'll be getting back to you with. You've got a lot of great ideas, and again, check out Mike's Facebook page. Too Late for Autographs. You'll be there for a while. Definitely wonderful. Mike, thanks so much.
Thanks, Mike. Good to see you again.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll see you next
too,
month.
Thanks.
We'll have to. We'll
Okay.
have to. The next time you come on, we should talk about. It'll be my idea this time because this year we've lost some really significant Ohioans in broadcasting. We lost Michael Stanley. We lost Les Levine, and then we just lost Joe Tate. So
Right.
you know those. I mean, their accomplishments are the big ones are pretty well known, but there are some other ones that I think might be interesting. So it'd be cool to get into that with you.
Absolutely. Love to do it. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Michael.
Very much.
Have a good evening.
Thanks, guys.
I'm not pushing the buttons right now. This is
I know.
Oh, sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Here's the best comment of the night.
There it is.
Yelena is why we have Mike on. I mean, she's just great.
Well, we should have her on some night.
Well, that's what I said earlier, and you gave me a stony silence.
No, I didn't. I said it was a great idea. Roll back the tape.
Go ahead. You're controlling that part of it.
Nobody's recording it. We can't roll it back till tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So, well, anyways, we have a field trip coming up next or this weekend, I believe. Right, Jared? Don't we have Bob, would you like to mute yourself next time you decide?
Yeah, it came on so fast.
we finally get you out of clinking your ice cubes.
And then I just cough into everybody's ear.
And then you just got your
It's really loud in stereo here.
Yeah.
So doesn't Mark look very professional? I mean, look at him. He looks like he is an absolute professional.
And did you reverse your thing, or did you move Angry Bert?
No,
we need to bring him back down to reality.
Did you get him this? Did you get him the same camera that we have, Mike?
No, he got his own camera.
Oh.
I did. I do. Yeah, purchase some of my own stuff. At least that one. No, I moved down to the lower office, the office downstairs.
Very good.
Yeah. Oh, the lower office, just in the lower level.
That's right, the first floor.
So we have we're going to do a show field trip, I think. Am I right, Jared Gray?
Possibly.
Oh, possibly. I'm possibly.
Yeah, we'll have to get the details.
So we don't have that set up yet. I thought we had.
I'm not sure.
Taken care of.
I'm not sure.
All right. Well,
one of these days we'll do a field trip.
Well, we had one. I don't know what Lori's saying. No, you were right. I don't know which. But okay.
No,
so,
right.
anyways, look, we have Greg. Maybe Greg can figure out what we were talking about. Hi, Greg.
Greg.
How are you? Good. Thanks for showing up tonight. Okay, so the field trip that I heard us talking about last night is now a possibility. Okay.
Excellent. Okay.
This is how we roll. So we have Jared came up with an idea with Lori about doing a wine of the week and doing a wine tasting once a month, right? With that
Yes,
wine of the
exactly.
week. And I think we're going to do our very first one this evening. We
Correct.
have that loaded up and ready to go. Let's see here. What do we have, Jared? Let's see if I can find it in my listing of pictures here.
So you should have a picture of Allamand Malbec. There we go.
There it is.
And you very coyly picked something that was hard to find. Only available at home buys, basically.
That's right.
Right?
You have to come and see Jared.
That's exactly correct.
It was
That's
not
right.
sheets.
It's very smart. Also a total pain in the ass.
And
But-
we had two people show up from the show. We have
That's
Susie
Lori.
and Lori. They
Lori, there,
came and got some wine. That's good. And I know some other people from the show got the wine. For those of you that are ready to try it, Lori's got hers.
I haven't.
You're
I
not
haven't-
supposed to open it yet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Look,
Oh,
I haven't even.
Mark.
This
I
is a
haven't even-
prop. This is a prop. This is
I haven't even cut my foil. So
fake glass.
now
Great.
I don't. Are you familiar with Felino?
Yes, you chose a very nice one. Good job.
Okay, good. I
Good
did
job.
go. I did go to a wine shop,
Where'd you go?
and it was I can't remember the name of it. It says is it on Lorraine Road in Fairview Park?
Oh,
was it where
okay.
am I?
So you went
'Cause I
all
was-
the way up there. On the way home, right?
it was on the way home, and
Gotcha.
I've bought spirits there before, so I went into their wine thing and I selected
Perfect.
a Malbec that's so between what you're doing and what I have here, what are going to be some differences in what we'll notice?
Yours might be a tad bolder. It's been a while since I've had Fulano, but it might be a tad bolder than mine, and it might not have as many earthy barnyard flavors, which we'll kind of discuss with some of our audience members later. But yes, this is the first wine of the week that we're going to be doing, and it's called Allamand Malbec. And I do know some of the ladies. Susie has some, so does Lori, and so
I have a special one signed by Miss Susie too.
very good. Telling you to hold off and not drink it.
Hold on, Mike. Don't drink
Can I uncork mine now?
You can.
I got my new
So-
speed cork.
Oh, sweet.
So
Is that a rabbit?
I actually
No, it's not, because I've been hearing that the current rabbits are hunks of shit.
Oh,
So I haven't
Oh.
I haven't
I didn't know
been
that.
every review of somebody who's bought a recent rabbit is like, this is not your parents' rabbit. This is their so I did not get a rabbit. I got this at Home Goods. I got it at Home Goods.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And it's
what
got
I'm
the-
going to be using
Sounds nice.
It's got the
Is-
foil cutter built right into it. That's pretty sweet. Oh,
Miss Susie.
I dropped the cork.
And we have with us tonight to help over here, Miss Susie with me. She's going to. And by the way, I've got a question for everybody. For those of you that are going to be doing the wine tasting, I want to know who has the aged cheddar or the Manchego cheeses, because we have it here at the house.
Oh, let me go get some cheese.
Oh.
I forgot all
you
about
gotta
the cheese.
have.
part.
Do you have the aged cheddar, Bob? And
I have
and the
I have
Manchego?
I have some slices of aged
some
cheddar.
craft cheese. Is that what you have?
No. I actually have cheddar. Cheddar is one of my favorites, so I get the
Okay.
real stuff. But I also want to make sure that I bought a new wine glass, Jared,
Okay.
to see.
Let's see it.
Oh, nice.
All right, that'll work. That'll work.
Is it?
That'd actually be good for Pinot
Okay.
Noir as well.
Okay,
So that'll be just fine.
I wasn't sure, but it looked like. Well, it said
It's definitely a red glass.
a red glass. Yeah, and you pour it to the break, right?
Yes.
Like yeah.
What's the break? What's the break?
All right, folks. So I kind of want to start out here. I haven't opened mine. Everybody else seems to be ahead of me. But
we have not
I'm thirsty. I didn't get another drink. This is all I've had. I've just been like, I was trying to be very patient with Mike Bonanno because I wanted to get to the wine drinking part.
okay.
Let us drink.
So I am going to be using to open my wine the waiter's corkscrew, which is what I find to be the easiest. It's double hinged. They're only a couple bucks, and they work better than anything.
Wrong.
My wife has a hard time
rabbit.
using it.
Oh,
You
no,
like
that's
the
not
rabbit? Did that
not-
work?
Not the rabbit.
Oh,
That work
yeah.
well for you, Bob?
Yeah, this is not. Yeah, it's not a rabbit brand. It's a different brand. It's all metal, and yeah, it just goes down and pops right out. It was good.
It's German. It's German of some sorts.
So I am taking my wine cork out here.
No, but the waiter's
Using my-
corkscrew is good. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jared. I'm sorry.
All right.
I don't want to shoot down your corkscrew because I'm sure it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
My wife is chomping at the bit because she's going to have some too.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
she gets it. She gets it.
So quit lollygagging.
I know. I'm trying. All right. So I've got my wine ready here. So the first thing I want you guys to do is pour your wine into your wine glass. Don't move it. Don't taste it. Don't smell it. Nothing yet. Just pour it into the wine glass.
I've done nothing. I knew
Good.
that was coming.
Good. Pour it into the wine glass. So I'm going to pour myself and my wife one here.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we got to
My
walk
wife's
away
gonna-
for a half hour and then come back.
Sure, that'll work. So the first thing when you're tasting a new wine is you're gonna want to look at the color of the wine. So I actually have a white napkin with me here. I don't know if you guys have something like that. Piece of paper will work. You could try that. So the first thing you want to do is kind of look at the color of the wine. And looking at the color can actually tell you a lot about the wine before you even smell or even taste the wine. So a color can tell you what kind of grapes there are. It can also tell you the age. So certain shades of red or purple will tell you maybe what the grape is or how old the wine is. So a brick or browning kind of color will be an older wine. So yeah, as red wine ages, it loses color. So we have a 2017 Malbec here. So it should still have, a lot of nice color.
You're pouring it on the napkin.
No.
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Mark
don't waste
is.
it. No.
Mark
No.
is. Okay.
Don't
No,
waste
Mark,
it.
don't-
Yeah,
don't
that's
pour it on the
alcohol
napkin.
abuse. That's alcohol
Okay.
abuse. All right.
So the next thing that I want you to do is smell the wine.
So what I have here is the color against the napkin appears to be like, I don't know, maroon number 4. It's probably most likely maroon 5.
Yeah.
Maroon 5?
Yeah.
Kind of like a
Sugar.
maroon ruby color, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're getting? Okay.
Mhm.
That's
Sugar.
typical of a Malbec. So take a smell of the wine, kind of put that into memory for a second here.
It's got moves like Jagger.
Now, the next step I want you to do is I want you to swirl the wine. So if you can swirl it in your hand, that's great. If you are a little bit uncoordinated, you can put it on your table or countertop and swirl it that way. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to coat the inside of the wine glass.
Oh, it's got legs.
It does have legs. So it's going to coat the inside of the wine glass, allow air to come in, which will enhance and release all the esters and the aromas and bouquet of this wine. So you will get a more intense smell the next time you smell it here. So go ahead and smell it.
Oh, sorry.
Bob, is this a little more intense than the first time you smelled it?
Yes.
A little bit more fruit popping out, a little more oak,
Mm-hmm.
a little more earthiness popping out.
Yes. I agree.
So yeah, so the first step is you want to look at the color. It'll kind of tell you maybe what grape it is, what age the wine is. Then you want to smell it, and then you want to swirl it. And swirling it will allow these different aromas to be enhanced. And then the next step is to take a sip.
Thank God.
wow.
That's what I've been waiting for.
Take a big sip. You got to take a big sip. And with the big sip, I want you to keep it in your mouth and swish it all around. You're going to coat the inside of your mouth, kind of like you would do a mouthwash. Coat the inside of your mouth, get it all over. You want it to hit all over inside of your mouth.
You guys are gargling the wine. and it apparently has taken away their voices. So when they gargle with it, it actually disables their
Voice recognition.
I liked it better when you couldn't make noise.
So you want to coat the inside of your mouth.
Now,
this is
in all seriousness, that was depending on where it hit your tongue, you get way different. You know, like you get kind of the sweetness from the front, and like it gets spicy, like around the gums and
correct.
Yeah.
So you really, in a typical Malbec, you shouldn't get much on the tip of your tongue. Maybe maybe just a tad, a little bit of fruit, but the entirety of your mouth, when you cover it, you're gonna pick up the different senses: the bitterness, saltiness, the tannins will be on your cheek, will be on your tongue.
Yeah.
Are they still listening? Mike? And
Yeah, they're listening. That's why they're not talking.
Oh, okay.
They took their headphones off,
Gotcha. All right.
so they'll have to type.
So this would be the proper way to, go through this procedure to taste the wine. Now, the reason why I chose a Malbec is because I wanted to do something slightly different than your typical Merlot or Cabernet Sauvignon or Pinot Noir, which is, everybody's probably tried that. Now, this is still a mainstream wine, but it's not as common. And wines from Argentina, which this is from, it's from the Uco Valley, which is in Mendoza, are very popular. They've been around for, a decade or more now and keep gaining popularity.
This
I
is
wanted to do something.
I'm sorry. This is also from Mendoza.
Yes.
And it's in the Valley de Uca.
Correct. Oh, so you even got the same sub-region as me. So excellent.
Yeah. And Lujan de Caya. And
Hey, Jared?
it's a Vina Cobos.
When can I cut the cheese?
You can cut the cheese anytime you want now.
Kim McBride said, swish it good.
That's right. So yeah, I have actually both cheese. I have the aged cheddar, and I do have some Manchego. I think I'm going to try the Manchego first. So Manchego is actually, I believe, a Spanish cheese, and will go great with Spanish wines. But I think this has enough earthiness and barnyardiness, old world style that it'll pair well with Manchego.
I'm excited. I have never heard of that kind of cheese before.
Bob, what do you have?
You cut an exotic.
I'll have to go upstairs and grab some cheese. I was very
Kraft.
No. I buy good cheeses. I've got some goat cheese upstairs. I have some dill Havarti, which is pretty good. And then I usually have some kind of smoked something in there, but I don't.
I would save the dill Havarti for possibly a white wine.
Right.
With that
but
herbs,
I have cheddar slices, and I think it's kind of semi-sharp.
I have cheddar goldfish. That's all I have is cheddar goldfish here.
Mark, I gave you 1 week, and you still didn't do it.
I know, and I actually took this from Lori's bottle of wine. So yeah,
I have.
So cheap.
Renee, I've always loved Malbecs as well. They're one of my favorites. Now I'm gonna go get some cheese. Hang on.
Hey, Lori,
So-
I'll save you some of this cheese. That's very delicious.
So Malbecs do come from France originally. Probably the most famous region it comes from is Bordeaux. It's one of the 5 original noble grapes of Bordeaux. Usually used to blend. You usually don't see it on its own. Now, there's another region in France that you're probably not going to find a lot of it at all around here. It's a region called Cahors, and they're noted for doing Malbecs, but they're a little lighter in body, a little more gamey. Now, Argentina they grow tons of different grapes, but they've kind of adopted Malbec as their go-to wine. It grows excellent for them there. It's perfect for their soil. So that's when you think of Malbec, you should definitely think of Argentina first, because they've really done a great job with single variety Malbec, not blending it. They do great blends with Malbec as well, but you're seeing a lot of just Malbec, 100% Malbecs coming out of Argentina, and they're excellent. They're dry. They're usually medium body. Some of them can be full body. This, I would say, is medium, maybe medium plus. Does any of our guests have any comments on any of the tastings from the wine, how it smells or tastes, or what they think of it?
Well, I tell you what, Jared, you made me
Yes.
dip into my expensive cheese. This is my Happy Farms by Aldi mild cheddar, already cut for me.
Always trust the Amish.
So I didn't have to be around when somebody cut this cheese.
This
Jared,
is
I love the wine.
Good.
It's really good.
Now, another cool thing about this specific wine, and one of the other reasons why I chose it, is because if you look at the bottle, it's got the guy's name on it, Christian Allamand. Great guy. I've met him several times, and they're really into doing things the right way there. His business partner's been to my house, so they're really great people. And kind of wanted to feature their Malbec, and they do a little more of a traditional old world style than some of the other wineries do in the region. So this is something a little different, and I hope everybody has enjoyed it. But do we have any questions or comments from the group this evening, Mike?
Well,
Oh, he doesn't have his headphones on.
Oh, okay, that's right. I didn't.
He wants to know if there's any.
I like this a lot. And I seen Lori put a comment on there. She likes this one too. This is a good one. Very good.
yeah, I really like this Foligno. It's nice.
Yeah, Foligno's good.
Same region.
I would think Lori would like this because it has fruit, but it has that kind of like a old world farm. Like you stepped onto a farm and you smell the barnyardiness from the soil, from the manure, may I say, which is all part of the wine.
Yeah, Lori's a hick, so that makes sense. Uh-oh, she's still watching.
Uh-oh.
You said
The
that
hell.
out loud.
Hillbilly. I didn't think this was on. It's just,
So what does Kim and Renee think of these wines? Do they have any questions or comments for us?
she said she's impressed with the
great.
Malbec. Kim is.
Great.
And
Kim,
Jared,
you
did
must have
say
came-
how much this was retail at your shop?
It's
not
$12.99.
$12.99.
Yeah, and
really good wine. For
It's a nice wine. Not everybody carries it. And in fact, this is actually kind of their low end wine. This is where they start. So they have some high end single vineyard stuff. They have different grapes they grow. They do Cabernet Sauvignon. They do Bonarda. I think they make a couple whites, but this is their starter Malbec. So their higher end Malbecs makes this one, just average. But for this price, this is excellent. And Bob's Fulano is very nice as well, and their cab's excellent too from Fulano.
It's a great price point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really delicious. It's really smooth. The tannins aren't out there just banging you in the. It's a real nice. The tannins kind of come late, and that with the cheese it almost mutes them in some ways almost entirely. But it's really smooth, somewhat fruity. But yeah, you're getting more of the oak notes, kind of like the olivey type.
I agree.
And then and then you'll get a little bit of spice on the side of the tongue, and
Good.
yeah, it's good. It's really easy drinking, yet bold and has a lot of character.
Now, a great meal, if you're actually going to take a Malbec and pair it with a meal, I actually say if you have a nice indoor grill or an outdoor grill that you like to use, do a gourmet burger with some aged cheddar on it. And you can even put some bacon on it. Just a burger is great with a Malbec.
I had some bacon Gouda upstairs, but I figured that probably.
So, Susie, what do you think? Yes,
Jared,
Mike.
Renee's asking, can you name a few higher end Malbecs as well?
There's a couple that I carry. There's a lot that I can get my hands on if she's interested in them. Off the top of my head, I can't think of too many right now. There's Catena that it runs about $20. They have a higher end Malbec that runs about 40 to 50. That might be an excellent one. But yeah, Kim or Renee, come in, talk to me, and I'll find you some higher end stuff if you want to save it for a special occasion or give it as a gift, and we can definitely check that out. But most Malbecs you see kind of range in that, just under 10 to 20, 25 range. But there are some higher ones out there that I've had in the past, but it's been a while. That not a lot of people are really spending tons of money on Malbec because it's kind of like an everyday thing. But can be nicer. Was it about 18, 20? Okay.
Yeah, $19.99.
Okay.
How many do you have at the store of this particular?
Of the Malbec from Argentina?
Yeah, the one we're having. Just in
Well,
case
I
one to
usually
pop
I
over.
usually bring that in by the case. I think I have a couple bottles left, but
Okay.
I probably have maybe 10 pure Malbecs from Argentina that I have available at my store. I can easily get more. That's what I'm doing right now.
That's really good. I like this one.
Good. I kind of figured you would, Mark.
What wine do we have to get next week? And what cheese? I'll get on the cheese right next week.
So next week, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to introduce a new wine, and I will tell you what it is, what it costs, and come and see me to get it. And Bob, you might be able to get this one because I think I might do a kind of like a under $10 wine because Mike was suggesting I do all different kind of price variant points.
That makes
And
sense.
I might do like a under $10, like a Tuesday night wine kind of thing.
You know what,
So
too, is I could always call, I could pay you over the phone, and then you're in Wadsworth. We could meet somewhere in between or something. I can grab it.
We could do that. Okay. Yeah. Not bad at all.
It's real good.
Well, does anybody have any other comments or questions for me? Is there any more detail that anyone wants me to get into? Or Susie? Susie?
Oh, can you hear me?
A little bit.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah. So you have
I
any other
loved it,
thoughts or
Jared.
questions? Or
No, I loved it because I thought it was smooth. I loved it. And yeah, I think it makes a nice gift for someone. If you're wondering what to get someone for a gift, they're going to love this.
So what did you think of the smelling it initially with doing nothing and then swirling it and then smelling it again? What did you think of that? Did you notice a difference? Did it do nothing for you?
Oh, no, it did. Yeah. No, I did make a big difference.
Definitely more intense.
Yep.
Are you a better swirler left-handed than right-handed? I'm noticing that I'm actually a better left-handed
I'm right.
swirler.
I'm a right-handed
righty.
swirler.
Yeah, I'm a right-handed everything else, but this is I have a better rhythm with my left hand. I have to let my wife know.
I can do it on the table fine, but in the air I'm a little clumsy.
That's what she said.
I don't know why that was.
That's what she said.
why.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why.
Susie.
Sorry.
Gosh, you've been hanging around Lori.
You don't apologize for that.
All right.
Yeah, very good. I
Jared,
think
thank you.
Lori made a comment here too. She said you can get some of the wines for a lot less there at your store than what other people have paid for. I think she might be referring to going out too.
Oh yeah. So well, one thing is, as I do all state minimum pricing. So a lot of chains around here, which they're not going to tell you, but they do add a couple bucks on their retail. I don't do that. I just, whatever the state minimum is what I charge. So there's a lot of wines that I have that you will see for a couple bucks more at other places. So maybe that's what she's talking about. But also, I find that, and maybe she's talking about this too, I find it's better to get a $20 bottle, bring it home and drink it, and just have water at dinner. I know the restaurants aren't going to like me saying that, but they charge astronomical prices at restaurants for wine. So a wine like this would probably cost you about $30 to $35 at a restaurant. And it's only a $13 retail wine.
Okay.
What's the wholesale cost if we made a deal on a case?
So legally, with buying 6 bottles or more, you can get 10% off. That's it. That's the state controls all that. Now, other states, you can kind of wheel and deal a little bit, and you can offer maybe up to 20% discount, maybe even 25%. I'm not sure what everybody's laws are, but Ohio's pretty regulated with that.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I like
Yes,
though
ma'am.
when I come and talk to you about wine?
Yeah,
is
what?
that I can come and tell you, you'll say to me, what kind of wine do you like to drink? So I can give you a name brand from maybe the grocery store or another place, and then you'll find something in your store that's, comparable to that, and maybe for less money. And yeah, so I love that. I appreciate your knowledge.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That's what I like to do. I love it when people come in and actually ask me real wine questions and are willing to try new things. So there's a ton of people that you will meet out there that this is what I have or this is what I like, and I'm not having anything else.
And you give the history behind it. I love that.
I like to do that as well.
Mark, why are you giggling?
Tudor doesn't have any wine. Tudor, where's your wine?
Well, first of all, I'm in my office. So, right, state law
What's
prohibits
in that
me
bottom
from
drawer
fighting. What's that?
of your office desk? What's in the bottom drawer of your office desk? Isn't there a liquor bottle in there?
The key drawer. No, just paper.
Paper.
No bourbon, huh?
I'm in pretty good shape today because, we didn't have a faculty meeting. So, otherwise I'd be sprinting home.
Gotcha.
Although this is actually a really good faculty. Of the 4 faculties I've had, this is, and I've had some good ones. This is the best one I've had. No doubt about it. They're fantastic.
Jared, very quick, Gray. Should all
Yes.
wines be room temperature, or is it okay to chill them?
So each wine and style of wine actually has its own set temperature gauge that you should kind of adhere to. I mean, it's all depending on what you like, but a lot of people serve their red wines just a little bit too warm. When they say room temperature, 55 to 60 degrees is actually a better temperature when they do say room temperature, sometimes 65. So even a wine like this Malbec, if you want to put it in the fridge up to a half an hour before you drink it, that's absolutely fine, because people do serve their reds just a little bit too warm. Now, whites, an unoaked white would be much better, very chilled, and whites that have a little bit of oak aging or malolactic fermentation, like a Chardonnay, are better served a little bit warmer, closer to that 50 to 55. Mike, you're laughing.
Because I'm sitting here watching Bob tie a tie for like the last 10 minutes.
It's red.
It's a red tie, and I mean for Jared, because Jared refuses to wear a red tie.
It's
Jared,
not that I
you
refuse.
gotta-
I just didn't own one, and I don't
you
have time to go out and
gotta-
get one.
Listen, you gotta give people what they want, Jared. That's your problem. Okay, you haven't understood this yet.
See, I give
Look
people
at
what they
Bob.
want.
Bob
I only
gives
have
people.
one problem
Yeah.
that's probably pretty good.
It takes
I've been
him
told I
20
have
minutes.
more.
It takes him 20 minutes to give it. What were you doing with that tie? What the heck?
I was trying to do the really good knot.
The
Oh,
double Windsor?
The double Windsor.
Double Windsor.
double
Ice
Windsor,
double
yeah.
Windsor.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's the only one I know.
Stand up and let's see how good you did that.
No,
It's not even.
Yeah, he's got that. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
There's the clip right there. Okay.
Well, Jared, thank you very much. And by the way, I like the aged cheddar better than the Manchego.
The Manchego? Okay.
Yes, I
Not
like
a-
the
did-
aged cheddar a lot.
Very good. I'm
So,
surprised
but-
you actually were able to find a Manchego, I guess. My wife said she had a little hard time finding a Manchego as well. So,
Yeah,
that worked out.
We found it at the deli area at Giant Eagle. For those of you who
Okay.
have Giant Eagle, go and ask the deli area for the Manchego.
Giant Eagle has a
Manchego?
pretty good. If you're a
They
little
do.
now, if you're close to Norton and Barberton, there's Grandpa's Cheese Barn out there.
Oh,
And if you're a little south in the state in Ashland, there's also another Grandpa's Cheese Barn. That's where a lot of my cheeses come from. That's where I got that. I got some wasabi Gouda upstairs and some wasabi cheese, and that's a little better. I don't freaking know.
And by the way, Jared Gray, Big Dave was listening to your explanation right before he went to Bob and his tying. But that was all very good information that you provided. So
Very good.
Just wanted to make sure that you knew we were listening.
I was hoping you were.
Big Dave says he likes everything cold, but his coffee.
Do many people put like red wine in the refrigerator?
A lot of people do, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Some I've been doing it a little more recently for just 10 to 15 minutes, just to get a slight chill, bring the temperature down just a little bit.
I had a wine fridge at one point, but I lost it in one of my 14 divorces. So trying to remember which one that was, but I lost the wine fridge.
Yeah, But you kept the tie, and that's really all that matters.
That's right.
It's really all that counts.
In the
And I
past.
really win because this 15th wife of mine is my favorite.
I got to tell you what, she is awesome.
And she's not my
And
15th.
Look at that. We got everybody. Look at that. We got everybody on here but Mike Bonanno. Mike, sorry.
I know. Come on, Mike.
You know.
Join the party.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mike, your show was
Hey,
great.
guys.
Your part of the show was great today. That
I don't have any wines.
We'll have to get you some next time.
What are bourbon balls?
Thanks, appreciate it.
I've had bourbon balls too.
Yeah, I gotta get some wine. I gotta come down and see.
Yeah.
falling apart.
So it's a little, they're actually a little more catatonic than my beer goggles. Sorry.
All right.
Well, everybody, we had a lot of fun this evening. Thank you, Bob. What do you say we wrap this up? It's 9:00, and I hear the bell ringing for me to close my eyes.
All right. Well, what do we have going on next week, Mike? Anything?
I prefer to keep it a secret.
All right. Well,
Because if I announce what happens next week, then what is Deirdre going to do?
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
than send me emails asking me what's going on. But next week, as we know, we are going to have the puppy parade because next week is the official. Where's our graphic for that? Somewhere in here. Hang on, I've got the graphic coming up here. Wait, that's not right. Hold on a second. Wait. Oops.
Oh,
wait.
Wait. Look at those puppies.
Wait, it's coming. Hold on a
wait.
second. We're going to get it. Wait.
Wait.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Whoa, hey.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. National Puppy Day is next Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. So, Bob, we have that organized. The rest is going to be a mystery.
all right. Well, I'm excited for that. So, because you were so long-winded, look at that. We've missed my cue.
How many of you have dogs?
I have a dog.
Do you really?
I have a dachshund.
Okay. I just don't think I should have pet. I killed a cactus once. I just don't think I should really have that kind of responsibility. Turns out if you don't water it at all, it really will die.
Yeah.
So
hey, look,
I didn't know
that cactus was a prick. It deserved to die.
That's right.
All right, Bob, we missed your cue.
I know.
Oh,
Hang on, I have to back up again, and I've never missed before. Well, everybody, Mark Seibert, good to see you again. Mike Bonanno, great stuff as always. Jared, thanks for the T-shirt on behalf of all the ladies in the audience.
Thanks.
And Jared Gray, thanks for the great wine suggestion, even though I wasn't able to actually nail it down. But maybe next week I'll do that. As for all of you out there, we will be back next week. And we will be back here right at the same time, same place, 8 o'clock on Tuesday night for another edition of I Didn't Know That. Make sure you like and share, and we'll see you back here next week. Good night, everybody.